state convention, right? Okay, so you guys are probably thinking one of two things. Either she did not get the memo that these get-ups are not airplane stewardess uniforms, or two, her hair is naturally blonde, and she is definitely having one of those moments. Well, if you're thinking either of those thoughts to yourself, I can assure you of two things. My hair is naturally blonde, and if you tell me a joke, be prepared to explain it. Several times. Really though, why do I have a parachute on stage with me? Well, you see, I wanted to tell you guys about the coolest I've ever done. And when I say coolest, I mean it literally. Like before this moment, the most interesting thing I had to tell the class for an icebreaker was the fact that I had a birthmark on my tongue. I promise what I'm about to tell you is much more interesting than a discoloration in my mouth. Since I was 8 years old, skydiving has been at the top of my bucket list. And this past summer, I was finally able to scratch that off. But that's a loaded statement, so August 8th, the day I would either have the time of my life or plunge to my death. From the moment I arose from my bed that morning, I had the biggest smile on my face. I suited up in the most 2013 Pinterest-worthy outfit and made my way to my destination. We get there, I sign the paper saying I won't sue if any complications arise. I die. And head to the back for a quick training with a man named Bill. In the back pasture, Mr. Bill explains the different procedures we will be going through. When to pull the parachute lever, how to land, etc. And after about 10 minutes, he gives me a nod and affirms that I'm ready. I strap into my harness, wave what I'm hoping won't be my last goodbye, and make my way to the small airplane across the field. Now, the best part about all of this is my parents actually bought the video package that the company offered. So the whole time, a man is recording my every move. In fact, in the video we received, you can hear that awkward swoosh with every step I'm taking, because I'm wearing those early 2000 basketball windbreaker pants. Boy, I can feel the chafing just by thinking about it. Anyway, we board the aircraft. The view is gorgeous. The air is getting colder, and my excitement is steadily rising as we reach about 10,000 feet above the ground. I mean, look at that face. If that isn't the poster child for a kid about to pee themselves, I don't know what is. Right after this moment is captured, the pilot opens the door. Wind slaps me in the face, and my ears are echoing to the sound of Mr. Bill screaming, "Are you ready?" I think back to my training. Slide, crawl, dangle. Slide, crawl, dangle. Slide, crawl, dangle. Oh, I slid, I crawled, and now I'm dangling, waiting for the countdown and to hear Mr. Bill scream, "Jump." My smile gets bigger, my deformed tongue starts to stick out, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm breathing. But then, I feel a tap on my shoulder. A video recorder is shoved in my face, and I hear the words, "Are you scared?"
Wait, should I be scared? Elizabeth, you're literally jumping out of a plane. Shouldn't you be scared? Oh God, the last thing people are going to see me in are purple windbreakers that Shaq wouldn't even approve of.
Seconds. It took just seconds for me to question something I've wanted since I was 8 years old. 3 words out of the mouth of a stranger, and I'm doubting everything I knew about myself. See, the saddest part about this situation is that it happens every day, and not just mine, but everyone else's lives too. We all want to feel worthy, and we want to feel worthy of respect, of care, and of the attention of those people close to us. You are not alone. We all have these thoughts, but these thoughts become fears. Fears that we're not good enough, fears that we're not deserving, even though deep down we know these are lies being told by people who have not taken a single step on the path we have taken. They have not seen our struggles or our triumphs, where we've been, nor where we are going. Yet somehow, the voices of these people creep into our minds and label themselves as truths. And eventually, we believe them. In just seconds, I believed I was scared to jump. But the truth is, the only thing I wanted at that moment was to jump. You see, the real kicker about this whole situation is that these fears aren't even real fears. They're simply interferences. Now, me being blind, even I need a little bit of an elaboration on this concept. The dictionary explains it like this: the act of interfering or the process of being interfered with. Wow. Thanks, Miriam, because that helps a lot. What I really mean by this is when we take these opinions and these lies to heart, they actually begin to meddle with who we are meant to be. Now, most of us have Louisiana muscles. We've been told a time or two to stop meddling with that. Actually, these are pretty vivid memories for me because they usually followed with the sound of a worn-out leather belt. Whew. In all seriousness, we have to stop letting the opinions of others interfere with our lives. Before you know it, it'll take your happiness, your opportunities, and eventually the very purpose your life is meant to serve. In order to do a more familiar voice, your own voice, the one that has been there from the beginning and the one that will be there to the end, that is the only opinion that matters. That is the voice that knows you are worthy, that you are deserving of all the things that you want, that you are enough. That is the voice that will free you from all of your fears. The one that knows you are not scared. Just a few years ago, I was reading a book about one of the most successful magazine entrepreneurs in the world. And it told a story that has stuck with me till this day. You see, this boy was failing high school. His teachers were placing bets that he'd flunk before he made it to his senior year. His family, they were struggling financially too. So the boy figured it would be of his best interest to drop out and get a job. But his mother, worried like all mothers do, made him promise her one thing. She said, "Promise me you'll take the SAT." Reluctantly, the boy promised, expecting nothing from it. He'd take the test and be on his way to whatever job he could get his hands on. But just a few weeks later, the scores came in, stating that the boy had received a 1480 out of 1600, a score only achieved by incredibly smart people. His mother, somewhat in denial, asked if he had cheated, in which he swore he had not. He told her, "I didn't even try at all." Now, the score made the boy realize that he was indeed very smart. He started going to class, he started completing his homework, and he stopped hanging out with the group of kids he used to skip school with. His teachers, they started treating him differently too. The boy graduated and grew to become a very successful man. But just 12 years later, he received a letter in the mail from the SAT board. And the letter read, "We are sorry to inform you, but you are 1 in 13 students who received the wrong score." The year that the man had actually taken the SAT, he had received a 760 out of 1600. But the real kicker is what the man said in response to the letter. He said, "Everyone thinks my whole life changed when I got a 1480. But the truth is, my whole life changed when I started believing I was a 1480. Everyone told this man he was going to fail, that he wasn't good enough to graduate, that the most success he'd ever achieve was a minimum wage job. But it wasn't until he listened to his own voice, the opinion of himself, that he became a multimillionaire. Let me tell you, as I was dangling off the side of that airplane, the fears placed by the opinions of the cameraman were echoing in my ear. And maybe some of you have fears placed by others' opinions echoing in your ears today. And maybe they sound just a little bit like this.
I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm a failure. I'm too scared.
In just seconds, these fears can become interferences. You see, the funny thing is, right before I boarded that plane that day, I said something that I think applies to this situation pretty well.
Elizabeth, what are you about to do?
I'm about to skydive.
What made you decide you wanted to do this?
Everybody said it was crazy, so I thought I might as well do it.
Okay.
Everyone said it was crazy, so I thought I might as well do it. Now, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah. 3, 2, 1, jump!
Can't be myself if I'm hiding. And if I'm not living, I'm dying. I can't feel what I don't know. I'm tearing apart all the labels, throwing my luck on the table. And if I lose, I won't go home. We're living in a world unfair. We're living in a world so scared. Feel it. I'm brave enough to feel it, feel it. I'm running down my demons, demons. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Feel this, feel this. I never thought I'd feel this, feel this. I finally believe it, believe it. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Hold it close, don't ever let it go. I can feel the light inside. Hold it up so that everybody knows now is not the time to hide. 'Cause we're living in a world unfair. We're living in a world so scared. I'm gonna be fearless, fearless. I'm brave enough to feel it, feel it. I'm running down my demons, demons. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Fearless, fearless. I never thought I'd feel it, feel it. I finally believe it, believe it. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Fearless, fearless. Never run away. Fearless, fearless. Never be afraid. Fearless, fearless. Never run away. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Behind every fear, there's a light.
Elizabeth, where should I begin, Shawty? What about the hair, or the driving, or the license? Your willingness to be a shoulder for everyone to lean on, and your kind and compassionate heart is so unmatchable. You're authentically yourself. You're so caring and you're so loving. Louisiana FFA, for the last time, your state vice president representing Area 2, Elizabeth Richwine.
Living in a world so scared. I'm gonna be fearless.